trial judge gets irritated on the bench and orders a man electric shocked in court till the man falls on the floor screaming in pain.
Statutes that violate the plaintiff's office.
Stop.
Common right now. Common reason.
Mr. Sheriff, do it. Use it.
With the push of a remote, a sheriff's deputy sends 50,000 volts through a stun cuff on the defendant's ankle, sending him to the ground.
That man who was tased was acting as his own attorney. He was representing himself on a gun charge. The 72-year-old judge who ordered the tasing was banned from the bench for life and recently pleaded guilty to civil rights violations. I was just thinking, Troy, if Pat LaLama were on the bench, I think we'd see more of these kinds of actions. But a lifetime ban, is that appropriate?
I don't think so. A judge has an absolute right to control his courtroom. This person was getting out of control. And look, maybe
the ladies are reacting.
The stun may have been a little bit overboard, but a lifetime ban on an otherwise distinguished jurist does not seem appropriate.
Let's get a non-attorney point of view.
I think I'm actually speechless almost, Dr. Drew. You cannot stun somebody because you're annoyed with them. The idea that he even had this device on in and of itself sounds humane.
You're deep.
Inhumane.
What's disturbing is that he goes, do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Use
that tells me that you've done this other times.
Oh, that's interesting.
And why would you even have it around the man's ankle in the first place?
Well, the attorney for the judge says that the deputy had escorted the defendant out of the courtroom and then heard him say, quote, "You know, that's just a show. This is all going to be all day long, so you better be ready." In other words, this is going to be something he kind of put on. He's going to put on the internet. He's going to make a big deal out of.
Why does that matter?
Yeah.
The judge should have been tased before they kicked him off the bench. That's all I'm going to say.
This is what the media starts to do. Now we start actually criminalizing this victim, because he is a victim. And yes, he is a defendant. He was charged with a gun offense. But at the same time, we are talking about this incident, about him being shocked.
We spent a lot of time talking about other people's behavior. This judge has got a previous history. In 2010, he pleaded guilty to tampering with a vehicle after he had deflated the tire of a car that was parked in a restricted courthouse zone. Then he was suspended for his guy's got style. He was look at that bow tie, give him away. He was suspended for 5 days without pay. But there you go. So we were talking about these moms' previous history and their behavior. This guy's got a history too.
Well, they're talking about how this guy had previous violent offenses, and he's doing this and that and the other.
This is now the defendant. Now, the victim.
That the defendant has run out of the court before, on foot. And, was he doing that now? He wasn't.
And let's be fair. He's had 33 criminal filings. This is the guy that was shocked. 33 criminal, everything from minor traffic violations and robbery to illegal possession of firearms and second-degree assault. So,
but that's not fair. He is innocent until proven guilty. He is in there to prove. No, he doesn't have to prove his innocence. They have to prove his guilt.
33 convictions. Innocent until proven guilty. He's guilty. He's been guilty and guilty and guilty and guilty.
Troy, heads up. When you go into a criminal courthouse, you have criminals who have a history. That doesn't mean they all need to be strapped.
And we don't let people just talk all they want and use up all the judicial resources.
I'd hate to see what this judge would have done if he actually raised his voice. If he actually showed disrespect in a threatening manner, what would he have done? Shot him?
And it's lucky that he didn't kill him. You don't know about what health conditions might he have had.
No one's going to get shot.
No, it can be dangerous with those tasers. It can be. But what I love is just throwing meat between you two and watch you chew it up.